Hey, it's Bill Simmons. Today's episode of Channel 33 is brought to you by SeatGeek, the presenting sponsor for my podcast, as well as the only fan-friendly app for buying and selling tickets for sports and music. With just 2 taps on your phone, you can instantly buy SeatGeek tickets to an event, and you can enter that event just using your phone. No paper tickets. Drop your old ticket app. Use one that's built for 2016. Download the free SeatGeek app or go to SeatGeek.com.
Welcome to Bachelor Party. I'm Juliette Littman. I'm incredibly excited because Nick is back, and I brought in my favorite expert, the sports gal, to talk about him.
Hi, everybody. Happy to be here.
Are we using your name on this podcast? Like, do people know your name?
I don't know.
Okay, so
I think they do. I mean, it's like all over the internet.
Okay, we won't use your name then. Why not? It's just a little mystery. You know who likes mystery? Liz. Remember she mentioned that last night?
Yes, she did.
We're going to get to her, where there's a lot to talk about because it was a good episode.
Yeah.
I'm feeling positive about this season. But I want to talk about Nick first. So many mixed feelings about Nick. People feel strongly about him, positive, negative, but there's just a lot of opinions. Where are you with Nick right now?
I think Nick exudes sex appeal. I can't help it. He's like, there's just something about him that it's, you know, he's not the dumbest guy. No. He's definitely not the smartest guy.
No.
But he's absolutely one of the sexier guys.
His abs
something
are very
about
sexy.
Well, his body, the shower scene in the beginning.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Even my daughter, who's like 11, was like, hubba. Like, she was like looking at me like, whoa, mom. Like, but like, he's a good looking guy. And he also has like these mannerisms that are kind of endearing.
Sure. Okay.
You know?
So like, you mean like his mumbling? Do you like
his mumbling?
I like his mumbling too. Around the Ringer office, people were criticizing his mumbling, but I actually never thought of it as mumbling until he called it such.
Yeah.
Like I just thought it was like a quirk of Nick or something.
Yeah, and I kind of like quirky, so I guess maybe that's part of it. But there's sexy. It's just sexy.
So one thing I really couldn't ignore was they showed the clips of him on Andy's season and then on Caitlyn's season, and then he looks roughly the same as he did in Paradise. But his appearance has really changed. It's almost like the shape of his head has changed. I kind of can't get over it. Like, I guess it's just weight loss, but like, or toning. I don't know, but it's like, it was drastic to me.
Has he not always had a beard?
No, he didn't always have a beard.
And it's been how many years since he's been doing this?
2.
So he's turning into a man.
Yeah, we're watching him go through a second puberty.
Because men get filled out in the face as they get older, though, and they start to look better. We look worse, men look better.
That's
true.
How it is. It's unfair.
We lose collagen, somehow they gain it.
It's like really unfair. Like just like George Clooney. He's really peaked after 35.
Yeah.
He's so handsome at like 40. But yeah, Nick is 35, which I would like to come back to his age later in regard to the girls. But like he just looks different to me, and I think he's much better looking than when he first came to the franchise.
Definitely.
Like not only because of his body. Actually, like he is to me is a Ryan Reynolds, where like he clearly works very hard in his body. It's almost like not natural.
Absolutely.
But I also kind of admire him.
He might be taking some HGH, possibly. I don't know.
It's not banned in The Bachelor.
No.
I mean, we've seen in the past that like dudes come with like those giant like muscle powder or whatever. But yeah, it's like weird. Like I feel like I know him. Like I just feel like we know all about Nick.
We've been on a long ride with him.
Totally.
And he's come into his own now, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's time for him to redeem himself and find himself a woman.
Sure.
If one will trust him.
If someone will trust him. He is.
Which I don't know if he's trustable, because sexy does not equal trust to me.
That's almost like the opposite of it.
Yeah. Like that's where I think there's going to be problems for
also,
Nick.
all these girls just associate him with sex. Like the girl came in on the camel. It's like I'm really into humping. So are you. Humps. That's what she said.
What about the one talking about her boobs and sex? The German lady that came in and she's speaking German, but she's like, "Do you like my tits? Do you like?"
I know it is like it's just from the jump a sexually charged season.
Very sexually charged. Yes.
I'm still more of a Ben girl. I was excited to see him at the beginning.
Me too.
But
well, he's safe.
Yeah,
he's loyal.
He's so safe.
Ben's gonna stick with you. Nick, he might be looking around the room.
I know.
You're together. For
Ben
a while.
is still with Lauren, which is like shocking.
Yeah.
Those relationships never last that long.
Yeah,
I know. And Nick, he has a girl in this season who he's already slept with. Like, that's kind of crazy.
That's unprecedented. That hasn't happened yet on the back. I'm surprised Chris Harrison didn't mention that. I don't think that's happened, right?
No, I don't think so. I guess that they...
Unless Nick slept with Caitlyn and we didn't know about it before the...
Then, which might have happened.
Could have.
I don't think it did, but absolutely could have. I mean, who knows?
Who knows?
I just think that people, like even people who didn't like Nick before, I just feel like this is going to be a good showing for him. One person in the office was like, I don't like Nick. He's a bad bachelor. But like, I disagree. I thought he was really charming when he was talking to the shark/dolphin girl. And he was like, no, it's a shark. Like, I thought that was funny. It was like real.
Yeah, it was
of.
real.
I don't know.
It was real. No, I agree with you. Like, he's pretty genuine.
Yeah. Or at least he's good at mimicking it. This is my theory about Nick. I think that he's like a sponge and he absorbs like what he sees. And I think he's like figured out how to seem genuine on television by like being a little bit different, like being a little bit more open or something.
Well, this kind of goes with the theme of him wanting to find love, but does he really?
Yeah.
And he's a model now.
Right.
And I feel like he could like really invent the next Bachelor clothing line.
Ooh.
Or do something
Sure.
where, right?
Sure.
Like he could, because he kind of doesn't have much else going on. He doesn't have a job. Does he have a job?
Okay,
I
thank
thought
you.
bachelors were supposed to like be this, job holding, like eligible guy that you're hoping like you get together and then you move somewhere nice and you start your life.
Yeah, I mean, he lives in LA. They try to trick you into thinking he lives in Chicago. Like, they have like the opening scene of him like walking across Michigan Avenue. But he lives in like the east side of LA. He like Instagrams from the Americana, which is the Grove of Glendale, basically. He lives here. Like if you follow, and the weird thing is them even trying to pretend otherwise, because if you followed him on social media, and like that's the reason they chose him, because he had a following. Like you know that he's like been trying to be a model/actor. Like, so it's just ridiculous to even try to make us think it's from Chicago. But like, LA Nick is better than Chicago Nick anyway, so who cares?
Yes, very true. Very true. He got a better trainer here, for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would love to know what gym he goes to, or like what his workout is.
Can't you find that out?
Probably.
Yeah, I think you should get him on the show.
Yeah,
again.
he was here in August. So I
know.
I was not into him and have said a lot of mean things about him. And
So he might not come back.
No, it went great. Beforehand, he was like acknowledged that he knew I'd been mean about him and like wasn't worried about the awkwardness, which I really appreciated.
What about the man on the street stuff? I was pretty impressed with the way he handled people.
Yeah.
Being, just out there and
Yeah, totally.
kind of like in the Charlie Brown answer booth or whatever it
Yeah.
was.
Like I agree with you that there's like something sexual about him, but it doesn't really like draw me in. He's just not for me.
Okay.
I don't know why.
To each his own.
I just feel like that's a weird
I didn't say I
opinion.
want to, I'd marry him type. I'm just saying, like, that's the guy that's the one ONS,
Sure.
right?
Yeah, sure. I mean,
Hence Liz.
Yeah, exactly, Liz.
Which we'll get to that.
Yeah,
right?
let's talk about the women though. It was just ridiculous. Wait, by the way, this is a good segue. I feel like my major takeaway about Nick last night is that he's a boobs man. Like, I just feel like he's really into
And
boobs.
dark hair.
And dark hair.
And dark eyes, like he likes darker women, maybe?
Yeah, he had a couple girls who looked just like Andy.
Yep.
They were pretty girls.
They were pretty girls.
There was no one who I was like, oh, she's busted.
Yeah, or no one had like too much makeup on, which is what I always look for, like that
Did they
gross
tone it
caked on
down
look.
for them or something?
Maybe they did.
That actually was noticeable.
Yeah.
Why do you think so many women were in red?
Oh, I think I do. Bill thinks I'm totally wrong on this theory, but I think my theory is perfect. I think red is sexy again,
it is.
and Nick is, and I think these women go on the show and they're thinking like, what is he going to like? And what am I going to feel like around him? And you want to feel he makes women feel good about themselves.
Sure.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think red is confidence and sexy at the same time. And I think also if you are into fashion magazines or anything, like I happen to realize that red was the color of this season. So it could have been that too.
So
could have
like
been as simple as that.
Just like out there.
Yeah.
I would never
Not
pick
just
red.
because it was holidays, because it was literally like the color, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
I would never pick red though. Like, would you?
No, never. I'd pick black.
What would
I'd be
you
all
wear?
black for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I would clearly wear black too. But like, what kind of dress would you pick?
I think something like fitted,
Uh-huh.
slightly revealing.
Sure.
Like something like that is mysterious yet shows my figure positively. But nothing where like you can see boob.
Not like Danielle L.
Not like Danielle L.
Whose boobs are just like out. Like, I just feel like I saw almost all of
girls
them.
were out to play.
I don't think that's a good look. I mean, Nick was very much into it. He was like slobbering over
he
her.
was so like clearly up and
Yeah,
down.
he was like, you
That
look
was
good.
bad. Yeah.
It was like one of his low moments.
Yeah,
He couldn't
definitely was.
control himself.
And I don't think he can.
No, he definitely can't.
No.
She looks like Corinne, who I will talk about in depth.
Yeah.
But Danielle L. is a quote-unquote small business owner, and her business that she owns 3 nail salons, and they showed the newest, and I was like, I know where what that is.
Oh, really? Is it here?
Yes, it's here.
Oh.
And I go to it all the time because it's right next to Soul Cycle that just opened on Hollywood.
Oh, very cool.
So
we'll have to go visit.
I've been meaning to go. It's really expensive.
Oh.
Like a gel manicure on its own was like 42 or something.
Good for her.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But she is like a business owner, I suppose. Although I went to her like
It's rare.
LinkedIn page and it didn't say that she was like, it was like she was like chief brand officer. And if I was really the owner of my
maybe
business,
her mom owns it and she kind of consults something about it. I don't know.
Maybe. That dress was like ridiculous. She said her sister picked it out, if you recall.
Yeah, but he loved it.
Loved it.
And he clearly she knew what he wanted. It was sexy.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of reminded me of an ESPYs dress, to be honest.
J-Lo too.
You've been to the ESPYs a few times and seen some of the very sexy dresses of these ladies.
Yeah, it's like when people think they could like just literally let it all hang out.
Like, it's like prom of awards.
Yeah.
So I think that's what she was going for.
Sure, and a good ESPYs look.
Yeah.
I mean, he was really into it. It was like he looked rabid for like a split second. He was so excited.
Totally
I admire Danielle, I think. She obviously's got chutzpah, you know?
I mean, she had a classy way of carrying herself, though.
Sure.
She wasn't like, other than throwing it out there literally, she wasn't throwing it out there.
That's true. Yeah. She let her body speak for herself.
Yes.
Okay, she looked just like Corinne to me. At one point, I couldn't tell them apart. But then Corinne really differentiated herself by being crazy.
Yes.
There's just send her straight to Mexico.
Oh my God, that's what she's going for. You're right.
She'll be the star of Paradise. Like I don't need to know anything else about the show to know that she'll be like day one.
She's the villain. Obviously they gave us the sneak peeks near the end of her like taking off her top in the swimming pool.
So here's what we know about Corinne so far. She has a nanny. She's a nanny. 24-year-old woman who has a nanny. Okay, like it's one thing to have like a staff if you're rich, fine. A lot of people do that, I guess. But to call it a nanny, like, is that really necessary? Like, if she's like your family's like housekeeper or even like
assistant. How about an assistant?
Exactly, assistant.
You run a multi-million-dollar company, Corinne.
Okay.
You can call it an assistant.
Thanks for bringing that up. Looked into that. There's no evidence of what the company is. There's none at all.
She just likes to throw that number out. And it could be like $1 million company.
It could not even exist. I couldn't figure out what it was. Like, I Googled it a bunch. She does have a lot of...
But
she's
it's her
like,
dad's company, right?
Yeah, that she's being poised to take over. But I went to her Instagram. It's like all like fake model shots. I don't know. I don't like her blonde hair. I hate that kind of fake blonde.
No, she's a total juggy.
No, what's a juggy? Is that a care?
That was like a show that Jimmy Kimmel and Adam Carolla used to have a long time ago. And there were these girls that bounced on trampolines.
On the Man Show?
The Man Show. Yeah. Those juggies were the girls on the trampolines.
Oh my God, I don't remember that. She totally could be. She's gross. She should live in Las Vegas. It makes sense to me. She lives in Miami or something.
Yeah.
So so she gave him the tokens, which I didn't really understand. Like, what was the point of that?
I thought it was poorly done. Like, I think the beginning when she first walked up to him and said, oh, here's a token for a hug. Like, I thought, okay, that's something. And it wasn't over the top and, whatever, let it go. It was like her way of just getting over the entrance. But then she handed him the bag.
A giant one.
With the money symbol on it,
yes.
which I thought she was going to bring up the $1 million company. I was like so hoping that she was going to say, and I have a multi-million-dollar company. But she handed him that, whatever that meant.
It reminded me of the emoji of like a bag of money. I wonder if she was going for that. She might have been. Like, she's 24. Knowing her, those youngsters, they just love emoji or something. She just wouldn't back down, and then she makes out with him and keeps it to herself for about 10 seconds, and then everyone has to know. And she's just ridiculous. And then in the teaser,
someone yelled "ho."
They called her a hoe?
Yeah, when they were all sitting around the fire or something. And they were like, she's kissing him. And someone's like, ho, 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 or something.
Oh, shit.
I heard it
like
in the background. Yeah.
I like it. They were getting a little catty by the end of the night.
They were. That's when the drink starts setting in. Like, think about it. They're there for like how many hours? 12 hours or something.
Oh my God.
And it's like 4 a.m.
Yeah, it is 12 hours. They start filming at like 7:30.
Yeah.
And they're done at like 6 or 7.
And they're all like 110 pounds or less.
Yeah, they haven't eaten in days.
Haven't eaten.
Weeks maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows?
This is their wedding day.
Yeah,
like,
I mean it is. And that one girl was like basically wearing a white wedding dress. That's a bad move, wearing a wedding dress. It's like very heavy-handed.
Yeah.
Also, like, particularly for Nick, who is like, he's like the sex bachelor.
Wait, who wore a wedding dress? I can't remember.
There was one blonde. I forget who it was. I think she got voted off, or she was on.
She couldn't have been on it for long.
Yeah, she was very unimportant.
She was hoping because that one year, that one wedding dress girl made it to the final four.
Yeah, her name I can't even remember, but she
neither.
She was the runner-up on Sean Lowe's season.
Yeah,
What was her name? It was like
no
Brittany
idea.
or Danielle or something.
One of those kind of names.
She had a really big tongue.
American.
All I can remember, she had a really big tongue, and like it
I
like
don't even remember that
because it just was like abnormally large and like affected her talking. I think I don't know. It was really weird. Corinne in the teaser for This Year On said that she has a platinum vagine. So that's both a quote of Borat.
That was a good one.
Also a ridiculous thing to say.
An absolute ridiculous thing to say. But she seduces him potentially.
Yeah, it seems like they have sex. And she also goes topless in like the hot tub with him, and all the other girls see.
So did they try to make it seem like was everyone crying and disappointed because they found out he had sex with Liz already? Or was it because he had sex with her and it's like him and Caitlyn all over again?
Right. I mean, how can they be mad about the Liz thing? That's not Nick's fault. He wasn't supposed to be chased before the show.
Exactly.
Like that's not his fault. I thought he actually handled that pretty well.
Maybe just because he kept it from them?
Maybe. I mean,
I don't know.
I thought he handled the Liz thing well, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think she's beautiful, Liz.
I do too.
Like very like.
Aside from the back tat.
Oh,
I mean,
really large.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back tats are kind of like, that's a sign.
It's not even.
What do they call it? A tramp stamp?
Yeah, but it's not even a tramp stamp, though. Yeah.
It's up higher.
Really large.
Yeah.
What's the point of a tattoo like that? Like, does she like look at it in the mirror? Do you have to assume she has a mirror shower?
You have to be drunk or high. Like, there's no way you get that tattoo sober.
She does live in Las Vegas.
Yeah, you don't get that tattoo sober. That's a like instead of getting married, she got that tattoo.
if you were giving birth, would you want your doula to have a gigantic back tattoo?
I don't know. They're kind of hippie, so maybe.
That's true. Also, I guess you wouldn't necessarily know unless your doula also was like wearing backless shirts or topless.
That's a good point.
But who knows? That is true though. Like doulas are often hippies. I wonder if Liz is like if she like makes, you know how doulas now like will help make like a placenta smoothie for you and like
yeah. And it helps with the postpartum when you are nursing. And
I
all
would
that
like
stuff.
actually like to know more about Liz's career.
I think Liz seems like she could be solid.
Yeah,
you know, like I mean, they briefly, although. Let's backtrack a little. And one of her best friends, obviously, is Jade,
the Playboy model.
Who's kind of like she's sweet and seems like a nice person, but she's a little I don't know what the word is.
Not that much substance there.
Not a lot of substance.
She seems fine.
Yeah,
she seems nice. I want her to come on this podcast. So
all right. Let's not talk about her then.
No, but I actually do think Liz seems cool.
Yeah.
Also, okay, so the immediate inference was that she's just there for the fame, which like I don't know, like takes one to know one, Nick. Like I don't know. I don't hate her for it.
I hated her dress. I have to say that.
It was one shoulder, right?
It was black and white and like busy.
No, that was
like...
a different girl. That was Liz. That like tight one that was like striped, black and white stripes.
Yeah, that was Liz.
No, that was Vanessa. That was Vanessa Grimaldi.
Come on, are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Look her up right now.
Liz was wearing like a sparkly sequin dress. I'm gonna pull it up.
No.
Yeah, 1 second. She was.
You're right. It was blue. You're right. It was dark navy.
It was navy.
Or like,
I actually liked it.
You're right. That is someone else.
I
did like
actually.
her dress.
Yeah,
right.
I thought she looked nice. She just looked natural. Here's a picture.
You're right.
For you.
Vanessa Grimaldi is the one that I think might win it. Is that the special needs teacher / girl from Canada?
Yeah, she's from Montreal.
He likes Canadians.
Exactly.
Like, we got to get there.
He likes Canadians.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay. Liz was wearing a nice dress.
Thanks for showing me.
Liz just seems normal to me. Is the
she
thing.
does. And seems like we'd be friends with her potentially.
Sure. Well, why? Yeah, totally.
Right.
But why didn't she give Nick his number? Even if she was just going to ignore him, like just give him your number.
Because I think it's the whole like I don't trust him thing maybe. Potentially. Like, or it was in the heat of the moment and then she was like feeling weird about it after, but she could have had.
It's very hard for me to imagine a scenario in which I would have just had sex with a hot guy and not want to give him my number. Unless it was really bad sex, but I bet it wasn't because she's been on the show.
Interesting.
I don't know. Like, I just like, maybe I give out my number too easily. I don't know.
I don't know. I actually don't have a theory on this.
Because that's just weird to me. That
the only theory really could be
that he was bad.
Yeah.
Which is what Andy said about him. Andy Dorfman said that the most awkward sexual encounter of her life was the night in the fantasy suite.
Ooh. So I wonder if it's
so maybe he's awkward.
The sex appeal on the outside doesn't exactly translate.
I mean,
Interesting.
it is possible. Now that we're talking this
Or maybe
through,
he's like S&M or something. Maybe he's like some freaking like 50 Shades of Nick.
I don't know. I feel like Liz could be into that. I got a very subtle vibe from her. I feel like she could be into that or something. I don't know. Is that mean to say about Liz?
Nope. I don't think so. Well, maybe it's the back tat. I don't know.
I wonder if Nick has a complex about this now because of the Andy situation. Because in her book she wrote that it was really awkward, and so now I wonder if like after he has sex with girls and like they don't follow up.
Wonder if maybe I hate to think this, but
what is it?
Maybe he like
just can't get it up.
No, he can't. He gets it done too quick.
Oh, too quickly.
Like maybe it's like one look at the decollage and it's all over.
I mean, he was really excited when Danielle L. walked by.
What's that?
He was really excited when Danielle L. walked by.
He did. He was excited.
I didn't think about this until this moment, but that's an interesting theory we have going here. No offense to Nick. I mean, just mentioning the possibilities here. Who knows? Liz, I was glad she stayed. I wasn't ready to say goodbye to that drama yet.
No, me too. I think she'll be around for at least 5 episodes or so.
Yeah,
if not a few more.
Although I don't know, like maybe it'll just become like too much of a big deal to the other women that he had sex with her. I don't think it should be though. Because
it just in the teaser, it just seemed like that happened a little bit later, but I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I bet the crying, the other girls being upset was over Corinne because she just seems horrible. She seems mean too.
Yeah,
Corinne, let's talk about the girl in the dolphin/shark suit. And Corinne was making fun of her. Her name's Alexis. She said she's from Secaucus, New Jersey. First of all, I'm pretty sure it's Secaucus, and not only because I'm from New York, which is nearby, but in every NBA game they have to like check the replay, and they do it in Secaucus, New Jersey. That word is said and like
Secaucus,
all the time. Yeah. She said her own hometown wrong. That's embarrassing.
That is weird.
That's like if I was
maybe the people that actually live there though.
I mean, maybe.
Say Secaucus?
I mean, maybe.
Secaucus. That's an interesting word. I'm just saying.
It was bizarre. So Corinne was making fun of her because she kept her shark suit on the whole time. And she was like, I hope her body's okay underneath there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She was saying, I hope the damage isn't too bad.
I know.
Or something.
I thought that was rude. That was really
super
mean.
catty.
Yeah.
Coming from her, too. Because she's not going to have a lot of friends on this show.
No. I guess she knows that, and that's why she did it.
Yeah.
But I just thought that like that wasn't necessarily mean because obviously Alexis like was doing enough damage on her own. She didn't need Corinne to like
I loved Alexis actually. I thought she was very, very like endearing with that
she was wasted.
Shark, whatever, caught in the whatever she was doing. Like,
she was doing dolphin
They
sounds.
were pretty real dolphin things. And then she went in the water. I was like hysterically laughing, like and making the dolphin noises. I don't know why, but I just thought that was killing me.
I mean, bonus points for keeping heels on the entire time while wearing that stupid outfit. That was ridiculous. Yeah. I think that she was just arrived completely blacked out and somehow maintained it all night. That would be my real problem if I were on the shows. I wouldn't be able to stay awake.
Yeah,
at like
have trouble.
At 3 a.m. I would like find a corner and just like fall asleep.
They must feed them though,
like Red Bull or something.
Yeah,
but
they have to give them
though.
Food. They've got to be eating.
You
somewhere.
had a party recently, and at 1:45, I was just like,
you were kind of done.
I was done. I was also, I'd had like several drinks. I was like, I gotta go. I'm tired. Yeah. So how do they do it for 12 hours?
They must be doing one drink, one water. Like
I guess
taking it easy.
I would go champagne. I'd go champagne water, because that
sure
keeps you up more.
Yes, I agree with you.
Without
keep the blood going.
Yeah. The problem with beer is it just gets so full, but not a problem with champagne.
Well, that happens too. I did that on my wedding night, and it wasn't good. Let's just
tough
say
next morning.
It was not good. Just the whole outfit started to expand.
So it's a tough next morning.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good lesson. I guess if you were on the Bachelorette, you would wear an A-line something.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Alexis, when she walked into the pool with her dolphin suit on, I was just like, God, she's gonna be wet for the next few hours, and I felt bad for her. I wonder if she took it off at some point. Well, I just don't. There's nothing worse than like walking through the rain and then your jeans get wet and then they're wet for hours.
But that suit just if you think about it, it's probably made of rayon and it doesn't stay wet at all.
Okay.
It's probably dry within minutes of getting out. But what the hell is she wearing underneath? That's what I want to know. Why didn't she ever like just bust out of the dolphin suit?
Yeah, she could have.
And give him a sneak peek. Like I didn't.
Yeah, they could like a sexy shark dolphin sneak peek.
Like that would have been cool, right?
The most awkward like physical staging of the night was when she was in the pool in her suit and he was just sitting next to the pool in his actual suit.
Yes.
And I was just like, this is so awkward. How are either of them like getting through this? But that's why you drink for moments like that.
Absolutely.
He didn't seem that drunk. I think he probably holds his liquor well.
Yeah.
I mean,
or he wasn't drinking a lot. Because, I mean, think about the adrenaline that you have when you have a room full of 30 hot
that want you,
men or women wanting you.
Yeah, totally.
Like, I don't think I'd need a drink. I'd be like, you know,
totally.
And then, it's just exciting, right?
He probably wakes up after, you know, whenever after having rested. He's probably just like, must be such a blur. I would like request to like watch the footage, I think, because I wouldn't be able to remember anything that happened.
They must do that though, right? You don't think they
I gotta ask
give him
him
recaps?
If he comes back, which I hope he does. I'm going to ask about like when they get to see footage and stuff, because how do you keep track of everything? He had 30 girls.
Yeah.
And they usually do 25, and he had 30, and I have a theory about that, which is it was supposed to be Luke as the Bachelor, and at the last minute they changed to Nick. And I bet that they had to like supplement with a few more girls who were tailored for Nick that like they weren't going to do otherwise.
Oh, so you think some of these were Luke's women?
I think a lot of them were.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I think that it was like a last minute switch. For
well, it was a good idea.
I know.
Because I was not at all interested in Luke.
Oh my God. I'd be dreading talking about Luke right now.
Oh my God.
He's such a zero.
Boring.
Such a zero.
All right, that's mean.
More girls. Raven from Arkansas, from Hoxie, Arkansas. Owns a boutique. Shout out to her.
Yeah. Okay, but listen. I looked at that boutique, and I swear I saw like a piece of paint coming off of like a nail, which was like, I had an old picture there. And I was looking at it and I'm like, my nephew Kyle lives here. He's like 23 years old.
Hey,
I'm
Kyle.
like, that's what the inside of his apartment looks like. You know, it's like, this is not a boutique. This is someone's apartment. I don't know if that was really, did you see a storefront with glass?
No.
Okay.
Or I felt like they showed her walking into a store and then they could have like switched to a different location. That's a great point. I didn't think about that.
And let's talk about the location.
Hoxie, Arkansas.
Hoxie, Arkansas.
I mean,
what goes on there?
I don't know. She scared me. She seemed very 90s to me.
Yes.
And just like, I don't know. For some reason, I'm afraid of Raven. I would like to vote her off right away.
Absolutely.
I'm just not into her. I don't care for her.
No.
Let's move on.
I don't mean to be mean, but the lips, little lips, weird lips, like, I don't know. There's
Also,
something.
Who dyes her hair that black for The Bachelor?
That's a good point, too.
Again,
she was like,
90s.
it was like gothy and.
Yeah,
but yet Southern. Like, it didn't go.
It didn't work. Also, walking along the train tracks, I don't know. There's something about her that just freaked me out. It was like she's like from the movie The Craft or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good.
I didn't care for her. Next, Jasmine G. Jasmine said she was a professional sports team dancer. I looked it up. She's a dancer for the Warriors, the Golden State Warriors. So, depending on when she joined, she could have a ring from their championship, which is like a really big deal. And then second of all, why is she on the show? She's surrounded by men all the time. She's
point.
hot. She's a dancer. She really need to be on the show? I don't get it.
She made it seem like she was there for Nick.
She did. And I think she also said that women, like, she's not used to having to fight for attention.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she's
I loved her
last
dress,
long.
I have to say that.
That blue one?
Yeah, that was like a good color for her.
She looks great.
Yeah.
She was very pretty.
Yeah, she was pretty.
I kind of like her. I think she seems crazy.
Yeah, I think she'd be a good wrinkle for the show.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't have bad things to say about her, and I didn't think she was going to be a front runner or anything, though.
No. I mean, and so Jasmine's African American, and there's more racial diversity on the show than ever before, which is not to say there's a ton, but there's like several women of color, which is a really big deal.
Yes.
I mean, which was amazing. And then Rachel got the first impression rose, who's also black.
Yeah.
Which was, I mean, that's just like, I mean, like,
she's definitely going to
Rachel?
go all the way, or one of the top four sure, right?
So, if you are a spoiler phobe, just jump ahead 2 minutes, because I'm going to tell. I didn't know this, but I read it online today.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you. I hope you don't mind.
No, all right. Oh no.
Okay,
go ahead. Tell me.
You want to know?
Yeah.
Okay. Spoiler alert. So before the season started in December, ABC put out a press release that was like, the final four will be in Finland. And so then, like, you know that. And then last night in the teaser, they show Rachel and Nick cheersing to Finland.
Oh, so she's
so
there.
she makes it far. She's in the final four.
That's good.
Yeah, it's great.
I like her. She's genuine. I don't have anything that I don't like about her.
Me too. I really liked her.
Yeah.
I thought of all the red dresses, hers was the best.
Absolutely.
She also she had like an opening line that seems like she probably came up with on her own, which was like, she said to Nick, like, I've did all my fantasy teams and I'm really just here to play for you, or something like stupid, but she had like put some thought into it.
That was cute.
They have the Wisconsin connection because she lived in Milwaukee when she went to Marquette.
Yep.
He did seem like interested in her.
And she had a good segue into that. Like,
totally.
I felt like when they were talking, it was like she kind of brought up that she was a fan of the team because of that. And no, I really legitimately thought,
Goes on the show and like 4 months later he's engaged. Like that just doesn't. Just,
why rush to marriage?
I don't
and like
know.
there's plenty of women that you can meet.
I know.
And
Nick would
meeting
kill
them
it
in this
LA.
inorganic way doesn't necessarily have to happen with a guy that's got a lot going on.
Totally. And like it just seems like maybe he is not supposed to find love this way. Like even though he's tried.
Right.
And like I mean who
He's
is
supposed to establish his career so that he can build the first Bachelor clothing line for men.
I'm intrigued. Like this is the vision you have for him.
I don't know. I just feel like he can model, and I don't know. He's like one of the more stylish bachelors. I kind of don't mind his tight pants and when he wears bow ties. I'm good with all that.
Yeah, he is stylish. Sure.
Yeah.
He probably has a stylist. I don't know.
Probably.
I just for some reason.
But I remember the first time he was ever on The Bachelor when he first walked in.
Yeah.
Who was it? Andy's season, right?
Yeah.
And the first thing she said was that she loved his suit and the way he was dressed.
He's like into style.
Yeah.
Although we did used to call him Normcore Nick because he wore like a lot of like flannel and like Midwestern gear.
He's got that Alaskan
a little bit
guy going
I think it's a Wisconsin thing.
Wisconsin thing. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I like that about him.
Yeah.
But like for some reason, I just feel like Nick should have a more awkward story of like meeting someone in a bar and then they get married. I don't know, or like that's not that awkward. But I mean, actually, The Bachelor would be more awkward.
Well, it could have been the Liz story.
Yeah, that would have been great.
If he was actually going to do it, it probably would have happened then. And he says that she didn't go after him and said no to his getting the number, but he could have gone after her. So
right, he could have gotten her number from Jade too,
easily.
Although I guess if a woman's like, no, you can't have my number. I don't know. It's
I
hard
guess.
to tell if Nick is into games or not.
Yes.
Like on the one
Good
hand,
point.
I think he is because he keeps going on the show, but on the other hand, the Liz stuff makes it seem less likely. But I do think it's weird that he just immediately assumes she's looking for fame. But maybe I'm the weird one for thinking that's not it.
No, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm okay with Liz for some reason.
I'm okay with her.
I'm on board. Let's talk about some
And
more.
he's looking for fame too, so touche.
I know, and that's fine. We accept you for that, Nick. Let's talk about Vanessa, who you mentioned. She is from Montreal. She's a special needs teacher.
Yeah.
I don't approve of them including her special needs students in her little video
Oh, interesting.
because I guess like the parents had to sign a release, but it just seems wrong. I don't know. It didn't sit right with me.
Really?
Yeah, for some reason I wasn't into it. I think she's gorgeous, Vanessa.
I think she is too.
Terrible dress. Simply terrible.
That's the dress that
Yes.
I couldn't handle.
First
and
of
I think
all-
that was the only thing about her I didn't like.
Yeah, she seemed nice. She
Yeah.
seemed pretty smart. Seems like he was into her. She kind of looked a little... There's three girls who kind of look alike. Liz, Vanessa, and Whitney. Whitney was a redhead with long hair. She was barely on the show, but she just caught my eye because she looked a little bit like Andy. I think all three of them look similar
Andy-ish.
to Andy. Yeah. I always thought Andy was really pretty. So
Yeah, me too.
good taste, Nick. Good
Yeah.
for you. Vanessa seems like a front runner for sure.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. But I was okay with the showing the special needs kids, like showing what she did for work. I mean, the neonatal girl,
That's
who I
true.
also think, do you know who the neonatal?
Yes, Danielle M. I thought she's very pretty.
Yeah, she has good hair.
Great hair.
Zoe pointed out that she's like, good hair.
She
I
has
like
a
her
lob.
hair.
She has a lob with
Yeah, she has a
waves
long bob,
that
yes.
looked really good.
Yeah.
And she was wearing a red dress with like cowdettes on the back. She seemed classy to me. She has a tragic story. Her fiance died.
Oh no.
Yeah, so certainly
that'll be
come
a
up.
big one.
Yes,
Yeah,
certainly. I think she has bachelorette potential.
I do too.
Because she seems really sweet.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I liked her. I liked her dress.
Yeah,
She was good.
yeah, she's a good one. Keep her.
I also... You wanted to talk about Lauren, whose last name was Hussey.
Lauren Hussey.
She's gone, right?
She did the thing where she walked up to him and was like, we both have names that together were a vile hussy.
Yeah.
Or something.
A gross slut.
Gross slut, yes. But Bill and I were both really disappointed when she got voted off because she seemed like she had stay power.
Yeah, she did.
And I was surprised. Like, why vote off the dolphin or keep on the dolphin shark and vote off Lauren Hussey?
I don't know.
Like, was it the last name?
Maybe it's the producers. I don't know.
But I feel like there were so many other people that he could have gotten rid of.
The dolphin shark is just like, you need to know more. You're just like, why? Like, why dolphins? Just so ridiculous. Also, the Josephine, who's the girl who came with the hot dog and said, you're a wiener in my book.
The wiener girl, yeah.
Okay, that was fine, kind of fine. But then
Yeah.
making them eat the raw hot dog.
Disgusting. How did they not get
Disgusting.
sick?
I don't know. And then how do you like go have a drink after that? Like a nice drink. It's just so gross to me. I don't know. Have we talked about Taylor? I don't think we did.
No, I don't think so.
Taylor is biracial. She spoke about in her testimonial.
Yep.
She
Biracial therapist.
No, she did not say therapist.
All right, I called her therapist.
What
did she?
She said she's a mental health counselor.
Okay.
It's nice of you to call her a therapist because I think that's giving her more credit. First of all, she's 23, so she probably has like an undergrad degree.
She does,
and
for sure.
And then she probably like works in like the department of like counseling at a high school.
Yeah,
and
they made it seem like she had an important job where she was advising people on relationships.
That's ridiculous. I'm sure it's not
like
what she does.
A 23-year-old who's not done anything.
What does she know?
No one's going to go to a 23-year-old that hasn't really had many relationships.
No, absolutely not. She is pretty hot though. I bet Nick will be into her.
Her eyes are a little close together.
She's really young.
Bill
Nick's
actually
35.
said she's got crazy eyes, and he said that about someone else too. I forget the blue-eyed blonde that
Elizabeth, perhaps.
Elizabeth.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes,
yeah.
she did kind of have crazy
eyes.
She kind of did. That's true. Also, Sarah, the other girl with the long bob, but didn't look as good. But I bet she'll be around for like 2 to 3 episodes. She was fine.
What about Balls Girl? What was he kept Balls Girl, but not Lauren Hussey?
That was the one with the nose ring, right?
Yeah.
Why did she call that having balls? Like that's just having a nose ring.
Because she stuffed the balls part of the nose ring into her nose,
to, like,
and then
hide
when
it?
she brought it out, and then she announced,
That's not sexy.
Not at all. Like
I don't know
was
why
kind
he
of
kept
disgusted.
her. I think you could have gotten rid of half those girls.
But she's going to come out and, talk about being a lesbian in the past. And then
That's pretty
there's going to be a
exciting.
that'll be interesting.
I'm looking forward to that, to be honest.
That will be good.
That'll be fun on the show. What was that woman's name? I don't even remember.
Balls Girl?
Yeah, I can't recall her name. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry.
We'll figure it out in the future.
Yeah.
Whitney, who you don't remember, but I mentioned, she was wearing a red dress. She also is a Pilates instructor from Minnesota, so I'm certain she'll be in Paradise. I mean, a tall, skinny brunette Pilates instructor. It's made for reality TV.
What about Prom Hair Girl? You know the girl that had like the yellow dress?
Oh,
and she kind of had like makeup that seemed like it was going to fall all over her face.
Was that
and she kind of
Lacey?
had big 80s prom hair.
I think that was Lacey, perhaps.
Is that it?
I think she's gone, yeah.
She's gone?
Is she not?
I know he kept
it's
her.
It's so hard to keep track.
She seems like she's going to be the mama bear and like get involved in everyone's situations in my head.
Great.
Yeah.
Was that Haley?
That was, let's see.
I really can't keep track of
I took notes, but I thought I
did too.
I don't know that. When I take notes, I write what I call them. I don't write their real name. Like German girl.
Oh,
Haley from Canada.
I liked Haley.
Dallas Elizabeth. Where are you?
I watched this 2.5 times, just so you know. I'm willing to admit that.
You did?
Well, I wanted to be prepared. I wanted to really know the girls.
Now I feel bad.
I wanted to know about Nick. Why? Kristen.
Wedding videographer,
too. Oh,
too.
yes, Kristen, wedding videographer.
Remember she danced with him?
Yes. I think that's probably the only legitimate career, or maybe the lawyers, too. There's one girl who was like a law school graduate who lived in Naples, Florida.
But I could be a wedding videographer. Do it once, and I call myself that. I don't know if that's legitimate. I think the nail salon, Danielle Nails, is the better one.
Danielle Nails is really close. I can't wait to go. It's like, I've been meaning to go there anyway, because it looks luxurious. Like
gel mani-pedi with a massage.
I need it right now.
Yeah, I'll go.
I could use one. It'll be a great ringer field trip. Kristen spells her name with a CH, like Chris T-N, which is unusual. I don't know why, but like those, I'm always like weird about your name. But she's no control over that at all.
No, it was her parents' fault.
Yeah, 100%.
Unless she changed it.
Kristen was pretty regular looking. Like she seems like the kind of girl I could have gone to college with.
Yeah,
she was fine.
Yeah, she was East Coast looking.
Totally.
East Coast prom.
Oh my God, you could totally just sort these girls into geographic regions based on how they look.
100%.
Yeah.
Like the Canadian girl for sure. I
just like that girl, that Vanessa.
Yeah.
She seems good. The two who he seemed like he really connected with, Vanessa and Rachel, they both were great.
Yeah. For sure.
It seems like he does. He says he likes outspoken women. I think that is true, actually.
Yeah. He likes confident, outspoken women.
Yeah. Because Kaylin and Andy were both that as well.
Yeah.
I kind of forget about
Let's just
Kaylin.
hope they're okay with the pre-ejaculation. I'm just kidding.
Let's just end it there. It's a great note for this first episode of Bachelor Party. This will be every week on Tuesdays. Got some exciting guests lined up for the season. Perhaps a sports gal will also come back if she'll be willing to.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for listening. Check out the rest of the Ringer Podcast Network. We've got a ton of feeds. And TheRinger.com. Roger Sherman is recapping The Bachelor for us, and he is very funny. So check it out. Thanks for listening, and I'll be back next week.